In the bustling city of New York, where skyscrapers touched the clouds and the streets hummed with endless energy, there was a hero who swung through the urban jungle, leaving behind a trail of hope and justice. This was Spider-Man, known to his friends as Peter Parker. Peter Parker, a high school student with a knack for science, was no ordinary teenager. His life had changed forever after being bitten by a radioactive spider during a science experiment. This bite granted him extraordinary powers: superhuman strength, agility, the ability to cling to surfaces, and most notably, a spider sense that alerted him to danger. Peter's Uncle Ben had always taught him, with great power comes great responsibility. This mantra became the guiding principle of his life as he donned the iconic red and blue suit, vowing to use his abilities for the greater good. His alter ego, Spider-Man, fought crime with a blend of acrobatics, web shooting, and sharp wit. Our story begins on a crisp autumn morning. Peter Parker was juggling the responsibilities of high school, his job at the Daily Bugle, and his secret life as Spider-Man. He had just finished a challenging chemistry exam and was heading to his part-time job. As he walked through the bustling streets, he was unaware that a new threat was emerging in the city. The city's most feared villain, Doctor Octopus, had escaped from prison. Doctor Octopus, whose real name was Otto Octavius, was a brilliant scientist with mechanical, tentacle-like appendages fused to his body. These tentacles gave him incredible strength and dexterity, making him a formidable adversary. With a vengeance in his heart, Doctor Octopus planned to rob the city's most secure vault and exact revenge on those who had wronged him. Peter's senses tingled as he approached the Daily Bugle office. A series of urgent headlines flashed across the building's electronic display, warning of a high-stakes heist at the Manhattan Museum of History. Peter knew that Doctor Octopus was behind it. He quickly changed into his Spider-Man suit in a hidden alley and swung towards the museum. At the museum, the scene was chaotic. Dr. Octopus's tentacles had caused extensive damage, and security guards were struggling to contain the situation. Spider-Man landed gracefully in the midst of the chaos, his presence bringing a glimmer of hope to those in distress. Dr. Octopus, your reign of terror ends here, Spider-Man shouted, his voice echoing through the museum's grand hall. Dr. Octopus turned, his four mechanical appendages moving with terrifying precision. Spider-Man, always the hero, but today you are outmatched, he declared, his voice cold and menacing. The battle that ensued was intense. Dr. Octopus's tentacles lashed out with incredible speed, and Spider-Man had to rely on his agility and quick reflexes to dodge the attacks. The museum's priceless artifacts became collateral damage as the two combatants clashed. Despite his best efforts, Spider-Man struggled to gain the upper hand. Dr. Octopus was relentless, and his tentacles proved to be a formidable challenge. Realizing that a direct approach was not working, Spider-Man used his wits to devise a plan.